I was scrolling through the news this morning. Just 5 minutes, that's all I gave myself.
How did that go?
I put my phone down, looked out the window, and thought, is there a single corner of this world that is okay right now?
And what did you conclude?
I made tea instead. I didn't have an answer.
Most people don't. And I think that's exactly why we need to talk about it. Not to fix the world in 7 minutes,
We'll try our best, though.
but to understand it. Because understanding something, even something painful, is always better than just feeling helpless about it.
Today, we ask the question that almost everyone is thinking, but nobody quite knows how to say out loud.
Why can't the world just live in peace?
Welcome to Ease English Podcast.
And a warm welcome to everyone learning English with us. Today's topic is a little deeper than usual, and that's actually wonderful for your English.
Because real English, the kind people actually use, isn't just small talk. It includes big ideas, difficult emotions, and complex world topics.
Today, you'll hear language about geopolitics, human psychology, conflict, and empathy, all explained simply and clearly.
And stay with us till the very end. We'll rehearse the most important words and phrases together.
Right, now let's have the honest conversation.
I want to start with something small. A street in any city in the world.
Okay, which city?
Any city. Pick one.
Okay, Mumbai.
Perfect. A street in Mumbai. 2 neighbors. They've lived next to each other for 11 years. They share food during festivals. Their children play together. They genuinely like each other.
That sounds lovely, actually.
And then, one election cycle. Some inflammatory posts on social media, a local political argument that gets personal. And suddenly, 2 people who shared meals for 11 years can't look at each other.
Over what?
Over an idea. Not even a direct experience. An idea about who the other person is based on which side they chose.
That's devastating when you say it like that.
Now scale that up. 2 neighborhoods, 2 cities, 2 countries, 2 civilizations. The pattern is identical, just with more people, more history, and unfortunately more weapons.
So the world isn't actually that different from a street argument?
At its core, never has been.
Okay, but Jimmy, humans are smart. We build satellites, we cure diseases, we write poetry. Why can we not figure out how to just not fight?
That is the most honest question anyone can ask. And the answer is uncomfortable.
I'm comfortable with uncomfortable. Go ahead.
Our brains evolved over hundreds of thousands of years in a world where resources were scarce. Food, water, land, safety. There wasn't enough for everyone. So the brain developed a very efficient system. Identify your tribe, protect your tribe, be suspicious of everyone outside your tribe.
So we're literally wired for us versus them.
It kept our ancestors alive. The problem is that ancient wiring is now running inside people who have smartphones, nuclear weapons, and 24-hour news channels.
That's a terrifying combination.
The technology has evolved at extraordinary speed, but the emotional brain, still largely the same model from 50,000 years ago.
So we have Formula One speed minds in a horse cart emotional body?
That is an excellent way to put it.
I have my moments. So let's get specific, because when I watch the news, I see so many different conflicts, wars, political fights, economic tensions. Are they all connected somehow?
More than people realize. Strip away every conflict in the world. Remove the flags, remove the religions, remove the ideologies, and underneath almost every single one, you find the same 3 things.
Tell me.
Resources, identity, and fear.
Resources. Okay, that's land, oil, water, money.
Always. Even conflicts that appear to be about ideology are very often about who controls the land underneath it or the trade routes around it.
Identity. That's religion, culture, nationality?
Yes, and here's the painful truth about identity. People will fight harder to protect who they are than to gain what they want. You can negotiate over money. You cannot easily negotiate over someone's sense of self.
And fear.
Fear is the engine underneath all of it. Countries don't go to war because they're confident. They go to war because they're afraid. Afraid of losing power, afraid of being invaded, afraid of becoming irrelevant. Fear dressed up in the language of strength.
I never thought of aggression as fear in a costume before.
Almost always is.
And social media makes all three of these worse, doesn't it?
Dramatically. Because social media doesn't show you the world, it shows you a version of the world specifically designed to make you feel something strong: outrage, fear, tribal loyalty. Because strong feelings keep you scrolling,
And scrolling makes them money.
while making the world angrier.
That should be illegal.
But, Anna, here is the thing I don't want us to forget.
Please, I need something.
For every conflict you see on the news, there are 10,000 quiet acts of ordinary human decency happening at the exact same moment that will never be reported.
Because kindness doesn't get clicks.
A doctor in a conflict zone treating people from both sides, a family taking in a refugee stranger, two old enemies sitting down and talking because they're both tired. These things happen every single day.
We just don't hear about them.
The news is a highlight reel of everything going wrong. It is not a complete picture of the world.
So the world is both genuinely troubled and full of quiet goodness.
Always has been. Always both at once. The question is, which one are you feeding with your attention?
So why can't the world live in peace? Because we are complicated, because we are scared, because we have ancient brains in a modern world, and because the systems that profit from our division are very, very good at their jobs.
But also because peace is not passive. Peace is not the absence of conflict. Peace is something people build, actively, daily, in small moments and large ones.
It starts on the street in Mumbai, between two neighbors, before it can exist between two countries.
Every time you try to understand someone before you judge them, that is peace work.
Every time you check your fear before it becomes anger, that is peace work.
You cannot fix the world today, but you can be slightly less of a reason it breaks.
I'm gonna sit with that for a while.
Me too.
Thank you for staying with us through a heavy but important conversation today. Before we go, our English rehearsal segment. Let's go through the key words and phrases from today. Geopolitics.
The study of how geography, power, and politics interact between countries. Example, the geopolitics of the region made peace very difficult.
Tribal instinct.
The natural human tendency to trust people in your own group and be suspicious of outsiders. Social media plays on our tribal instincts.
Scarce resources.
When there is not enough of something for everyone, conflicts often begin where resources are scarce.
Ideology.
A system of ideas and beliefs, political, religious, or social. They fought over ideology, but the real issue was land.
Inflammatory.
Something designed to make people angry or upset. The inflammatory posts divided the whole community.
Aggression.
Forceful, hostile, or violent behavior. And remember what we said today. Aggression is very often fear wearing a costume.
That one will stay with me. And the last one, decency.
Simple, honest, good behavior towards others. Ordinary human decency still exists everywhere. We just don't see it on the news.
And here is a quick note on what today gave you as an English learner.
You practice listening to a complex, real-world topic explained in calm, clear, natural English.
You heard formal vocabulary used in natural conversation, not in a stiff textbook way.
You practiced understanding two different speaking styles, curious and questioning versus calm and analytical.
And you picked up 7 powerful words you can use when discussing world events, news, and society in English.
That is confidence-building English right there.
The world is complicated, but your English doesn't have to be.
Until next time, stay grounded.
Stay curious. Bye.